Most coaches are using AI the wrong way, and it's actually hurting their business. In this video, I'm going to show you what they're doing wrong and how to actually use AI to save 10 to 15 hours a week, build deeper client connections, and scale your business without sacrificing your authenticity. Because the truth is, when you use AI right, nobody should even know that you're using it. Now, to jump into the most common mistakes that I see coaches making with AI. Now, these coaches aren't making all these mistakes because they're lazy or they don't want to put the time into writing their content. They're making these mistakes because they want to use AI on their business, but they just don't know how. They hear all these online gurus and course creators saying they need to use AI in their business, but they simply don't know how. So, what do? They go over to ChatGPT and they say something like, I need my caption written. And of course, ChatGPT is more than happy to write you some content, and this is what it outputs. Now, before you even read this, do you write with these types of emojis? Do you use all these different types of bullet points and these hashes? Also, do you write like this? In an era increasingly dominated by automation and efficiency, why are so many coaches still manually executing tasks that AI can now effortlessly optimize? And the answer is no. And that's because nobody writes like this. This is AI generated content. And the truth is that people can spot this nowadays and it actually kills your brand's trust. And people don't like this. So this content belongs in the trash. And you would have probably had a better bet just writing some mediocre caption. So, what do I want to do today? I want to show you how to write better and prompt better so that you get outputs that actually sound like you, that you can use in your business, that builds trust and not destroys it. On top of that, I want to show you how to use AI in your business and make it so nobody even knows that you're using AI, but you do, and your efficiency is through the roof. So, as I mentioned before, there's a tension going on between AI and authenticity, and people do not like AI written content. And that's because we're in the rise of AI, and AI is exploding. AI is powerful, it's fast, and it's efficient, and it's everywhere. And that's why people are starting to not like it because there's so much fake AI slop on the internet. And on the other hand, there is the return to real, what I like to call it. And this is pretty much people craving real again online. They're craving real connection, real people, and real stories. And this is happening because there's so much fake AI content on the internet. Now, who are the coaches that win in this scenario? Well, they're coaches that can blend the authenticity on the front end through their videos, their writing, and have AI and systems running behind the scenes where nobody can even see them. And I like to call this using AI in stealth mode. So it's very much effective in your business. However, nobody even knows that it's there. So, what is the very first step in learning AI and starting to use it in your business so nobody knows? Well, the first step is learning prompting. Now, prompting is essentially learning to talk to an LLM like ChatGPT and give it a very specific input so you get the output that you desire. Now, prompting is pretty easy to learn. You can get started right away, and the leverage is pretty high. Now, what are use cases of prompting? Well, anything that you could talk to ChatGPT about: content writing, client messaging, writing sales pages, offer creation, check in reports, program creation, literally anything. If you learn to talk to an LLM and prompt it like ChatGPT, you're going to get tremendous outputs. So, what are the differences between knowing how to prompt and not? Well, here is one coach, and he doesn't know how to talk to ChatGPT. And he goes up to it and he says, write me a hook about why coaches need to use AI. And you're going to get a hook kind of like this. As coaching becomes increasingly data driven and client expectations continue to evolve, integrating AI into coaching practices is no longer optional, it becomes a necessity. And just like before, this AI written content is in the garbage because you're not going to write like that. That's not you. That's not your brand. Now, if you know how to write a prompt, and this is a rather complex prompt that was created by an expert like me, this is a input or a prompt that has all the different elements needed to create a magnificent output. So here is our emotion loaded viral hook builder. You can pause it and read it if you want, but this has all the different elements of an effective prompt. And the input that you put in the ChatGPT is this, and this is the output. So these are 5 effective emotion building hooks. Number 1, your calendar's full, but your freedom's empty because you're the assistant now. 2, you preach delegation, but still spend Mondays sending onboarding emails. 3, this isn't about ChatGPT. It's about why you still do $10 tasks with a $10,000 brain. 4, AI won't replace you, but the coach who uses it already is. 5, what took you 3 hours now takes you 3 prompts, unless you enjoy burnout. So you could see the dramatic difference between this output of these hooks and this trash one there. And if you write hooks like this, you're going to be driving a Lamborghini before you know it. So extremely, extremely effective. So now, what are the 5 steps to building an effective prompt? Now, these are all 5 different elements that are needed inside of a prompt to be effective. Some of them are not completely necessary, others are. So the first thing is action. So you should tell the AI what it should do. Is it going to write something? Is it going to summarize something? Is it going to create? That's the first step. Second is the context. Who is this for? What's the situation? And what's the goal of the prompt? So that should also be in your prompt. Third is going to be your persona, and you're going to tell the AI who it's acting as. So, is it going to act as a marketing expert? Is it going to act as a journalist? Is it going to act as a social media influencer? This helps the AI kind of get in the brain of what you're trying to achieve and writes a even better output. Next is the format. You want to specify your response style. Do you want a list, a paragraph, or a table? So that's 4. And 5th is the tone. So you want to match the voice you want. So this is the 5 steps. Just going through it pretty brief, but if you include all 5 of these inside of your prompts, then you're going to have extremely effective prompts. Now, if you don't want to spend the time learning this framework, and I'm going to create videos further on this framework, but if you don't want to spend time learning it, I offer a plug and play prompt pack inside of my free school community. And essentially, what this is a collection of already written prompts for many different areas in your coaching business, like content, messaging, offer creating, anything you can think of, where you just plug in different areas inside of the pre written prompts and you get outputs specific to your business. So, the school community will be in the description with this plug and play prompt pack. Check it out if you want to get started with prompting really quick. Okay, so we've touched on prompting and the differences between a good prompt and a bad prompt and how you can build an effective prompt yourself. Now we're going to go into AI tools, which really is the next step in using AI in your business. And that's because it's pretty easy to learn most of these AI tools, but the leverage is very high. I'm going to show you just 6 of these tools that are built on top of many different platforms like ChatGPT, Claude, etc., that are extremely powerful. So the very first tool is Napkin AI. Essentially, what it allows you to do is to create visuals and diagrams strictly from text. And these diagrams you can use in your content and presentations, what have you. The next tool is a tool called Opus Clip, and this is actually very popular. Essentially, what this can do is it can take your long form content and break it up into a bunch of short form reels, taking the most captivating parts of the reel and clipping them, and can also add captions. So, this is another tool that's extremely popular. Next is Auphonic, which essentially is a tool that allows you to have studio grade audio with AI. So you create a video, you upload it, and it actually creates very crisp and clean audio. That's actually kind of what I use in my business. I have a cheap mic here. I upload it into Auphonic, and boom, good output, just like studio grade audio. Next is a tool called Phantom, which allows you to record and analyze past client calls with AI. Essentially, what this does is it sits in your rooms. It could be a Google Meet, it could be a Zoom call, and it takes notes, it analyzes your call and gives you outputs so that you never have to remember anything with your past clients. This automatically records everything and captures the best insights from the call. Next is Leonardo AI, which is a AI image generator. I actually use Leonardo in my own business for my thumbnails. So if you can see the thumbnails with my face in them in different scenes, that's because I'm using Leonardo AI. Extremely, extremely useful. And the last tool that I'm going to showcase here is Gamma, which essentially is an AI presentation builder. And this builds beautiful presentations in seconds. And I kind of want to showcase this. I want to have a tool showcase here just to show you how quick you can start implementing any of these tools and how effective they can actually be in your business. And keep in mind, this is just 6 tools here. There are thousands of AI tools, and some of them are useful, some of them are not. But you need to be on the lookout because these tools are extremely effective when they work. So I'm going to show you Gamma real quick just to show you how easy you can use a platform like this. So here's Gamma app. I got my text pasted in. I want a slide about why every coach needs AI in their business and why they need to use it before it's too late. I just pasted in some content here. We're going to continue. I'm not going to go through the nitty gritty. I'm just going to blast through everything here. Okay, pick a theme. We're going to pick a theme. I think this is pretty cool. And we're going to click generate. And as you see, within seconds, it's going to generate us a presentation from our text that is highly engaging. It uses AI images so that you don't have to go out there and find images yourself. As you can see, it's already starting. And we're just going to go into the present mode. So why every coach needs AI in their business and before it's too late. Some of these might take a second to load since it's just generating, but you see here why coaches need AI now and not later. The coaching industry is changing with with images. As you can see, this is actually pretty beautiful. It only took me a second, and it's still going here. But you can really see how a tool like Gamma can be used in your business if you're creating, slides for your clients or sales content. How easily you can create something like this, and it only took me 30 seconds from when I opened the app. So this is why you need to be using tools, and Gamma is just one case. All right, so next we're on to AI automations and systems. Now this is where the real leverage in your business comes from, where you can automate tasks that take up so much of your time and are actually extremely low ROI. So the difficulty to learn for this, if you just want to start learning yourself, it's pretty hard, but the leverage is extreme, as I'm going to show you. And coaches that use AI and systems save so much time. So on the y-axis here, we have a little graph, and it says time, and on the x-axis is our clients. So typically in a coaching business, the more clients you take on, the more time you need to spend fulfilling, fulfilling the clients and their needs. So in the red here is a business that doesn't use AI or automations in their business. So if they're at 0 clients, as time moves on, you're spending more and more and more time in your business fulfilling each and every single one of your clients. Now, if you have a business that has AI and automation, that curve kind of goes down because every single client you onboard, you need less and less time spending with them. And as you can see, after a while, you might be at 10 clients and maybe you're spending 20 hours a week fulfilling them. And the delta between a coaching business that has no automation and a coaching business that does is extreme. And if this is you, you probably are going to be sitting on the beach with your Lamborghini, sitting back, enjoying life because you have all of this extra time here. And I'm going to show you a case of this in 1 second just to show how effective automations can actually be in your business. So, what are some areas where automation can be high ROI in your business? I'm not going to touch on all of them. I'm just going to show you one example for today, but it can be effective in lead generation and sales follow-ups. It can be effective in your content with content automations. And last is client onboarding and experience. And I'm going to show you an example of one of these automations now. Now, the automation that I wanted to showcase in this video is our client flow AI backend system that saves 10 to 15 hours plus every single week. And I'm not even exaggerating. The reason why I wanted to showcase this is to show you what is exactly possible with AI and automations. Now, what does this system do? Essentially, what it does is it automates onboarding, check-ins, and client updates from the very beginning of your program to program completion. So what it does is it takes your clients, it automatically onboards them, and then week after week, it sends necessary materials to them so they stay on track. And then on the other hand, you get updates as far as where your client's at and where they need help. So essentially, it connects all of these tools here and they work hand in hand. So here is the 16-week execution engine. It all starts with an onboarding flow that is triggered by a onboarding form, and then it pushes the client through onboarding, sending onboarding materials, links, and schedules, onboarding calls immediately as soon as the client fills out a form. From there, it puts the client into our customer CRM, and here they sit. And this is where we can manage our clients and see where they're actually at in our program. And each and every week, your client is going to get a set of materials and instructions for the week so that they know exactly where they're going. And on top of that, as a coach, you're going to know at what status your clients are in. And from there, you're going to get progress tracking and AI summaries. So once the client is done with the week, they fill out a form, which triggers them to get pushed into the next week. And as the coach, you're going to get a summary of what your client actually did in this past week so that you know how to help them most effectively. And they're all going to sit inside of your execution engine so that when you have a call, you understand what your client has done in the past week and where they need the most amount of help. I have a video going through all of this that shows off the engine and all the different flows. But this really allows you to see how automation can really be effective in your business, because a system like this you implement into your business and your business runs on autopilot with very little work for you to do yourself. So this is one example out of the many on why you need to be using automation in your business so that you could be sitting back just like this guy here.